I think it would be a lot of fun to do that. Well, I just want to say that lots of great things going on at OVCN. And I think one of the things I'm most proud about is our alpha small groups. David told me there's 8 small groups, and of how you guys have figured out during COVID-19. This is great. I love how you guys have figured out how to make alpha work through Zoom. And even though you can't be together, there's that community that you guys are still doing, and I think that's great. And I want to say I'm so proud of our small group leaders here, and I'm proud of if you had a meal that was cooked at the church and brought to you, I love the team that did that. But I think that I'm most incredibly proud of each one of you for just going, hey, I'm going to be there, I'm going to make this work, and you guys have figured out a way. And I asked David, I just said today, I said, David, would you mind if I just told a quick story? I want to tell a story just before I finish my time. And it's a story of when Robin and I, we had spent 6 years in East Texas at our first church, and we were going to a second church in Southwest Kansas. And when we were making that transition, it was about a month when we were packing things up and saying goodbye. And our daughter, Ashley, she was in kindergarten at the time. It's about 25 years ago. And she was in kindergarten. She came to me. She asked a question that I think is a simple question, but I think everybody asks this question when they come to church for the first time. And it's the question, when I go there, will anybody like me? And I thought that was a great question she asked. I think everybody, when you walk up to church for the first time, you've never been to a church, or never been to that church, I think you ask that question. When I go there, is anybody going to like me? And I'll never forget, for those 4 weeks, every one of those 4 weeks, Mrs. Newberry, the teacher of the kindergarten class, would write Ashley a note and say, hey, listen, we are so excited to have you here, and it's going to be great, and we can't wait till you come. So we finally, after those 4 weeks, we make the transition across Texas. In about 2 hours away, I called the church and say, hey, we're about 2 hours away. When we got to our house, Mrs. Newberry was there, and she wasn't there for me. She was there to welcome Ashley and to give her a great big hug. Hey, Ashley, we are so thrilled to have you here. That next Sunday, we take Ashley down to her Sunday school, and we walk her down the hall, and there's Mrs. Newberry standing outside of her class, the kindergarten class, welcoming Ashley, telling her, hey, we are so excited to have you. Come on in, and we're going to have a great time. Ashley had a great time in that kindergarten class. Colin, when he got old enough, he loved Mrs. Newberry in that kindergarten class. And I just want to say to you, if you've been to OVCN, you know this. But if you've never been to OVCN before, I want you to know that we have a whole team of people that the first time you come and every time you come, we hope you feel like you're part of our family. First time there, we hope that you feel cared for and loved, that you are shown kindness, and that you're just a part of our family from the very first Sunday. In fact, we have a phrase at our church, and it says this: a shared joy is twice a joy, and a shared sorrow is half a sorrow. And I just really believe that God, that's the way he created us. He created us with the need for community, to have a time where we are part of a group of people that will care for us, go through joys in life, and go through the sorrows of life as well. David didn't tell me I could do this, but David, would you mind if I prayed for the class?
I would love that.
Awesome. Would you guys pray with me right now? Heavenly Father, thank you so much for your goodness and your grace in our lives. And I thank you for each one of these participants of this Alpha series. And I just pray your special blessing on them, Lord. Thank you for the fact that they were figured out a way to be a part of this series. And Heavenly Father, I just pray that you would do something in their hearts tonight. I pray that as they talk about the questions, as they have community together, I pray that you would just warm their hearts and say, hey, this is a good thing to be in community. I thank you for each one of them. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you guys for letting me be a part of your class tonight.
Thanks, Craig. So tonight, before we